The truth
Okay.
is, if you find a really good deal on a piece of real estate, the money is not, I promise you, it is not an issue. If you find the deal, there's a ton of people that are out there that have lots of money that don't have the time or the energy or the experience or the willingness to go out and find and do a fix and flip deal on a house. They don't want to deal with contractors, renovators. They don't know how to find the deals. But if
Yeah.
you were to approach them and you had a deal in hand saying, hey, I've got this deal, as you lay the numbers out and they can see the type of returns that they could get with their money, it's astronomical.
Welcome to the Bricks and Banks podcast, where real estate meets real wealth. Whether you're building from the ground up or stacking your paper to the ceiling, Steph breaks down property power plays and money moves you can act on. From first-time buyers to seasoned investors, this podcast is your blueprint for financial freedom through property, investment, and business. Subscribe now. It's time to build your future. This is Bricks and Banks with Steph.
Hey everyone, welcome to another amazing episode of the Bricks and Banks with Steph podcast. I am your host, Stephanie, and this is where real estate meets real money. On today's episode, we have Scott Durham. He is a no-nonsense real estate investor and is the founder of We Buy Homes Reno. Scott has turned countless distressed properties into six-figure profits and is here to share all the intel. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Scott Durham to the house. Yeah.
Stephanie, thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Yes, Scott, you're a real estate investor and a house flipping expert. How did you get into this business?
Gosh, so believe it or not, I have been in the real estate business for over 2 decades now. It's hard to believe,
Wow.
20 years. So I've been a real estate agent. I first got my real estate license in 2004. And I
Wow.
focused on selling homes. I was helping other people buy and list and sell their homes. And eventually, I'd say 7 years or so ago, I started doing it for myself. Deals started
Mm.
coming across my desk that were like too good to pass up on. And I was tired of, I love helping people. I love working with clients, but I was like, man,
Yeah.
why don't I start buying some of these for myself, utilizing the
So,
expertise that I have for my benefit and to help the people that I'm working with?
yeah, just grab all the juicy properties in it.
Why not? Yeah, take the good ones.
Amazing. So let us just start from the beginning. Who was Scott before real estate? Who was Scott before his real estate license? Who was Scott before 2004?
Yeah, so I was coming out of school. I was working actually
Mm.
a front desk of a hotel 20 something years ago. And
Wow.
I enjoyed it. I thought that's what I wanted to do for the rest of my life until I got out of school. I said, hey, I'm making $10 an hour. This isn't gonna do it. And I thought I was so super special and important because they bought me a cell phone, a special work cell phone that I could be on call 24 hours a day, any time of day or
Wow.
night. They could call me if anybody had any issues, any problems. And I thought, wow, I must be important. And I said, wait a minute, they're calling me at 2, 3 in the morning. I'm not getting paid. It's $10 an hour. I said, there has to be a better way. I've always wanted to make something big out of my life and make some
Yeah.
money, help other people. And I figured that probably that wasn't the best method to go about it. So I was like, man, how about this real estate thing here? If I go sell a house, I can probably make more money selling one good house than I can an entire year of work at,
Mm.
at the hotel. So that's what I was doing before real estate.
Wow, that's amazing. Was there any push for you? Was there like an aha moment aside the calls, the ungodly calls?
Was there an aha moment besides what? I'm sorry?
Besides the different calls that was coming through at ungodly hours in the night.
Yeah, and just, actually, I went to a training. I was all excited because they
Oh.
said, "Hey, we want you to
Mm.
become a manager, and we see potential in you." And one of the first things that they said at this training was, "Hey, this is not the industry that you wanted to be in if you want to make money, and this is not the company that you want to be in if you want to make a lot of money." I'm thinking, well, what am I doing? What am I doing here? It's like, yeah, I want to have fun at work. I like the people I work with, but I could do that anywhere and still make money that can have an impact on my family and other people at the same time. So I was like, I thought this was going to be it, but I think that there's something more out there for me.
Amazing. So I know there are the countless real estate strategies. There's buy to let, there's rent to rent, there's flipping, like what you're doing.
Yeah.
So what drew your attention to flipping? Why did you just focus on flipping properties for cash?
So I do flipping, but we also hold on to properties. We have
Okay.
Airbnb properties that generate
Amazing.
constant cash flow. So there's benefits of both. We like to raise money because you can make quote unquote quick cash by
Yeah.
flipping homes. So you buy it, you renovate it, takes a month or two to renovate it, takes another month or so to sell it, and you could have
Yeah.
big paydays, 50, 70, $100,000 or more per flip, depending on what price point you're doing. And then you use that money that you raise up to, yes, pay your living expenses, but also you save that, and then you can put that into long-term property investments and you can rent it out. So now we have properties that are Airbnb, they generate cash flow for us that we can help pay our expenses on. So when we do a flip,
Mm,
that we're actually putting money right into savings and we're not just having to use it to pay our mortgage and pay our electric bill. It's really long-term wealth. And that, so for one day, if I don't want to keep doing this, so we have that passive income coming in. So it's good to have a number of different strategies, not have just.
yeah. That's amazing. So do you just focus on residential properties or do you do like other developments?
Yeah, to this point, it's all been residential. So I think that it's good while I have different strategies, I think it's good to have a laser focus because there's always like a shiny
Exactly.
object syndrome. The grass always seems greener on the other side, right? So if you do that, and I've fallen victim to this over the last 20 years in business, like always chasing the next thing. It's like once you found something that works, like just stick
Just
with
stick
it
to
and
it.
run with it.
Yeah.
And I even had a conversation with a prominent local developer about this. Like, hey, I'd love to sit with you. I'd love to pick your brain. I love to learn how you do it. And he said, well, Scott, how much money do you make on each deal when you do that? And when I told him, he says, well, why in the world would you want to get into this? It takes longer. The
Mm,
commercial development takes more risk. It takes longer, and you're making about the same money. So he's like, just stick with what you're doing, and then that way you don't have to spend time learning a new thing and starting over. So for me, I'm kind of laser focused on the residential, finding homes that are undervalued, underpriced,
mm.
and modernizing them, rehabbing them, making repairs, and selling them. And it's proven to be a really effective way to generate some income.
Yeah, I love that because I mean, why fix what isn't broken? There's no
Exactly.
there's no point stretching yourself trying to cover up and save the world.
That's
Just
right.
you found a strategy that works for you. Stick with it and
Stick with
continue
it.
doing it.
And
Be
yet
the best at
sometimes
it.
in doing it for the long time, sometimes it loses the
Exactly.
initial allure and appeal, and it's not always something new and exciting every day. But we still enjoy it. 99% of the time, I really enjoy what I do, and it works. So we're sticking with it.
Amazing. So I know you do this with your wife.
Yes.
Or did you meet? How did you guys meet? Is it during the business or
Oh my
long
goodness.
before?
So we met through business so long ago. We
Yeah.
met. I actually was good friends with. I am good friends with her brother, and my
Nice.
wife was a lender at the time. This was when I was just strictly a real estate agent, and he said, "Scott, you need to meet my sister. She can do your loans for you." I said,
Yeah.
"Okay, great." And I walked into her office, and she's just this drop dead beautiful woman. I said, "Well, forget doing the loans. Like I had other things in mind." So we started doing
Yeah.
some loans together, and over time we started dating and eventually got married. And we're actually having our 10-year wedding anniversary here in a
Oh
couple.
wow,
So
that's amazing.
yes, God has blessed me.
That's amazing story, and
Yeah.
I like the fact that you're doing what you love, and
Yes.
in the midst of like living out your passion, you found love there.
Yes, and my wife does all the things that I don't like to do. I don't like the paperwork, I don't like the accounting, I don't like the details. Like, I go out there and bring the business in, do the sales, bring the business to the
Yeah,
door, and then she does all the keeps us out of trouble, keeps us in compliance, and does all the accounting and IRS and bookkeeping and all that crazy stuff.
that's that's a teamwork that makes the dream work.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
So, how have you found real estate so far? And do you just do your flipping just in the US or do you expand to other areas outside of the US?
So all of our flipping has been here local.
Okay.
Now we're open to, like, looking into other areas and do other things. My wife would love to start doing more things in London. We love spending time
Yeah,
over.
come to London.
Oh
You
my
guys need to
god.
come to
Yeah,
London.
now that we have a good connection over there, she's gonna wanna be dragging me over there, but no, so I think it's really important to utilize the expertise that you have, and because I've been
Yeah.
an agent here locally for so long,
Mm,
I've got the expertise here in
true.
Nevada. So, I think that's important to really lean on that, and I have plenty of opportunities here that are keeping me busy.
Yeah.
So for now, this is what we're doing.
Yeah, and you know the market in and out, and that's where you
Yeah,
can give your best service to your clients as opposed to going into a new place and you have to struggle and you have
yes.
to. Okay, that
Yeah,
makes a
yeah,
lot of
just
sense.
leveraging that experience and that knowledge that you have, whatever wherever it may be.
Yeah, I know real estate can be ruthless. What's a major failure or setback you faced earlier on, and how did it shape the way you operate today?
Honestly, the biggest failure or setback that I have were just self-imposed rather than being imposed by anybody else being ruthless, by being afraid or being afraid to
Mm,
take action and step forward or because let's face it, this is a lot of money and you're taking risks doing this, right? So
yeah.
fear held me back from doing it earlier than I could have, and fear has held me back from doing more of it because you're always worried. I lived through that crisis of 2008, 2009, and it still has effects on a lot of people. So, and
Yeah.
there's always a reason. But the thing of it is, people have been predicting a real estate crash every year for the past 10 years. There's been something that's come up, and it's just been incredible. It's one of the most incredible markets for a long time. So, I personally, we're still buying houses every day. We're going to write an offer on another one today. We've got several projects going. We own several houses, so we feel confident
Oh,
in it. So you want to be smart about the risks that you take, but you have to
mm,
step out there and do it. And even like I tell new investors that even if you don't make $1 million on your first flip, you're gonna get even if you were even to break even, or even if you
yes.
lose a little bit of money, the education that you're gonna get from that
It's
experience is
priceless.
priceless. Absolutely
Mm,
right. It's priceless. So just you have to get out there and now do your research. Don't just buy any property, but if you find yourself stuck in that analysis paralysis, you've got to jump out and you've got to take action. And you'll be, even if you don't make a ton of money, you'll be so much further ahead. And after it's done, you'll know that you can do it. You'll be able to stomach it. And you'll be so glad that you did.
yeah, I know a lot of people are just even like me, they just become perfectionists and want to
Yeah.
check, analyze, recap, regroup, check this, check that. The
Yeah.
thing is that you learn the most by doing.
You have to
And
do.
if you don't just take the plunge, you never know, really.
Quite frankly, even listening to podcasts or binge watching on YouTube, if you don't take action on what you learn,
Yeah,
it's just entertainment. You might as well just go
sure.
watch a movie and
Watch a
really
movie.
relax and enjoy yourself. Put your feet up and don't lie to yourself and kid yourself that you're doing work because you have to put it into practice.
Yeah, that's one thing I tell my audience that this is not just information. We're not just discussing gist.
Yeah.
It's actually practical real life
Practical, and we want
experiences
you
of
to enjoy
people.
it. It's great that you enjoy it, but then afterwards, I
Yes.
hope you're taking notes, and
Yeah.
then what are you gonna do? Like, what are you gonna do next? What are
Take
you gonna do with
notes,
the
take
information?
action.
Action,
And
that's
maybe
right. That is such good
exactly.
advice.
Yeah, so I know a lot of people fear starting into real estate because once you hear real estate, they just hear big money.
Yeah,
What's the philosophy around starting with limited capital, and what creative strategies do you think first time investors can leverage at the beginning?
that's such a great question. I know that's on a lot of people's minds. So there's really 2 ways that I'd say to go about this. The truth
Okay.
is if you find a really good deal on a piece of real estate, the money
Mm,
is not I promise you, it is not an issue. If you find the deal, there's a ton of people that are out there that have lots of
mm,
money that don't have the time or the energy or the experience or the willingness to go out and find and do a fix and flip deal on a house. They don't want to deal with contractors, renovators. They don't know how to find the deals. But if
yeah.
you were to approach them and you had a deal in hand saying, hey, I've got this deal, as you lay the numbers out and they can see the type of returns that they could get with their money,
Mm,
it's astronomical. So I've seen where people will partner where let's say Stephanie has all the money and I don't have any money, and I go to Stephanie and say, "Hey, I've got this house. Here's what we can buy it for. Here's what you have to put it in for. Here's how long it's going to take.
yeah.
Here's what we can sell it for, and here's your profit. I'll bring you this deal. I'll handle everything, Stephanie. All I need is your money, and I'll handle everything else. And we'll split the profits 50-50." And that's a great way to get started if you don't have
Yeah.
you don't need any money whatsoever. Stephanie or whoever that you're partnered with covers everything, right? So that's one
Mm,
way. If you don't want to go that route and you do have some money to put down, there are lenders out there that will lend to you if you have 10 or 15% to put down. Even if you haven't done this before, you're a first time house flipper, they will lend you the money if you have a little bit of money to put in the skin in the game, they say. So if you can put 10 to 15% down, there's no excuse. So either way, there's avenues. But the key is you have to find the good deal. That's where the work comes in.
yeah, I like the way you put it because at the end of the day, people need to bet on themselves. If
Yeah.
you're betting on themselves in terms of the knowledge side, in terms of covering that knowledge gap, or in terms of the investments, covering the investment gap, there is one way you need to bet on yourself.
That's
And if
right.
you don't bet on yourself, no one else can bet on you.
That's
So that's
right.
why people be like, oh, no one is giving me money. Of course, no one's going to give you money because you're not even ready to put your
Yeah,
investment
unfortunately, it
in the
doesn't
game.
just fall out of the sky. But I will
Yeah.
say that this is attainable for anyone, for anyone.
Mm,
Looking you right in the eye and tell you it's attainable for anyone who's willing to put in the work, and with
yeah.
persistence and determination, you can absolutely do this.
Yeah, thank you for that. So, can you walk us through? I know you talk about risk assessment, looking at the risks that are involved in a property. First off, can you just walk us through your typical home flipping process from spotting a potential property to turning it into profitable sale?
Yeah. So we buy properties either that are on the market, they're on, we can go on Zillow or Realtor.com or whatever website that you use to
Uh,
view homes. And a lot of
okay.
times they're right on there, but they're homes that need work. So they'll have certain keywords in the listing description that says like TLC, which means tender loving care, or fixer upper, or handyman special, or cash only type properties. Any property
Sure.
that you can see needs work, or if it just looks like your grandmother's house, your great grandma and just hasn't been done any remodeling for 30 years. These are
Yeah.
perfect properties if you can get them for the right price, to modernize them, to make the needed repairs, and to turn around and sell them. And we have a
Uh,
formula that we use. It starts with what we can believe we can sell the house for after we do all of our repairs. And we
yeah.
multiply that number by zero point 0.8, and then we minus what our repair costs can be, and then we get an idea of roughly how much we can pay for the property and still be able to make a good profit on it. So once we identified it, we negotiated with the seller. There's ways to get
Uh,
properties that are off the market too. We've done a ton of deals just by doing Google pay per click. You can pay Google to be at the top of the list when someone types in, I need to sell my house fast. And then you come up at the top,
mm,
fill out a form. These are excellent, excellent. These are some of the most motivated leads that you can get your hands on. There's a litany of ways to find properties. It just depends on what each person's specific budget is, what their strengths are, all those sorts of things. And then so from there, once we close escrow, we do the rehab process, work closely with our contractors, make sure that
okay.
we put our project plan together and that we stay as close as possible to our budget. And once the rehab
Uh,
is done, I mean, it's key to get the rehab done on the house professionally, and you want to do it the right way, but it's
yes.
also key to do it quickly, right? Because the longer it takes, the more it costs you to do the rehab. So once you have
Mm,
that done, you put up the property for sale, you get your money, and guess what? You go find another
it's
house. You can't waste any time. You gotta go. You can't do it just once. You'll get hooked. You gotta keep going.
Yeah. Oh, I love the way you put it because it just makes sense. This a build up of different things, and I like the way you talked about the numbers. Your 0.8%. That is like the
Yes.
8% of what your
8% of
equity
value. And
and
sometimes we used to do zero point 0.7, right? But the market, I mean, it just depends on exactly where you're at and how many other
sure.
investors are, but it's gotten to be
Uh,
a lot more competitive, right? So we're not able to buy it for quite as big of a discount as we're used to, but depending on your area, you might be able to get away with zero point 0.7. It just depends, and we'd have to take a deeper dive into your area to determine what that would be. But somewhere in there, you know that
uh,
you're gonna be safe.
okay. So what you've explained, what are the top three factors you look at when determining if a property is worth flipping or not?
Really, it comes down to the price. What price can I get for the house? Because you can flip any house, right? It doesn't matter if
Uh,
it's a $20,000 place or a $20 million place, right? It's about getting the deal at the right price. And of course, the higher price
yeah.
points, you need to get a little bit better deal because it's more risk. You want to be more comfortable with that. So it really comes down to just getting it for the right price, and also to make sure that the rehab that is needed is something that you're comfortable with. A lot of people don't want to do, like,
Mm,
if the house has major structural issues, I won't even touch it, because even after it's been fixed, it still has that stigma of, hey, the roof's caving in, or the foundation isn't right, and it can
yeah.
kind of off-putting. That's too large of a product that we want to get into. Most of the homes that we do, they're a cosmetic flip, where we put paint and cabinets and flooring and countertops and maybe a roof
Mm.
or maybe some electrical work, but nothing too crazy as far as like major structural issues.
Yeah. So aside price and what other factors, do you look at location or
Yeah,
they're not necessary?
location is absolutely important, but again, that's
Okay.
location still comes back to price, right? Because
Okay.
Every house will sell, right? But it will sell at a certain price. So if you have a
Mm,
house in the best neighborhood in town, it's gonna sell for a higher price, or you can
yeah.
buy that house in the worst neighborhood but sell for a lower price. There's a buyer for both of those homes. There's a family or there's an investor, there's someone that will eventually buy both of those homes. But it's about making sure that the price you get it at is that one that makes sense for that specific location.
Okay. So would you say the best starting point for someone who's going to real estate should be flipping, or should they try out a different strategy at the start?
I think a great strategy for someone who's new to real estate is to start flipping. Now, if you want to get your real
Mm,
estate license, that's an excellent way because it gives you other advantage. You can make money helping other
okay.
people buy and sell homes. Also, you have a big advantage because you're the first one to access homes that come on the market. Also, when you go sell your own properties, I list my own properties. I'm licensed, so I can save on the commission. So with as much
Mm,
competition as there is, it can help ease that a little bit because I'm saving money when I buy it and money when I sell it too. So it'd be between getting your real estate license and then flipping homes. That way you have the access to the homes and can study and analyze them. And if
yeah.
you have the resources to do it, it's how to get started.
Nice. So let's talk about mindset. You've done this for the past 2 decades. It's such a long time.
Yeah.
What belief did you have to let go of in order to become the version of who you are today? Very assertive, very confident, and you're the star of the show right now.
You're very kind. So I think the biggest thing to let go of is when I first started, I was so worried about what everyone else thought of me. When I would go
Mm,
pick up the phone to make my cold calls, it felt like I weighed 10,000 pounds. I just couldn't lift it up because I was so afraid of what the other person was going to say. Were they going to like me? Were they going to reject me? Were they going to curse me out? And the longer
mm,
I've been in this business and the more that you do it, there's different ways to do it. So you don't have to do cold calling. I don't do cold calling to make this work, but you have
okay.
to be comfortable with who you are and the fact that you're providing a value to people. A lot of people think that it's unethical to be flipping houses because you have to sell that, buy the house for such a low amount of money. But to every seller I go to, I tell them, hey, listen, you can get more money for the house if you were to list it on the market. I don't have to buy your house. I want what's best for you. And for the
Yeah.
most of the people, they don't sell to someone for a cash offer for a quick sale because it does come at a cost of capital to them, but they get the
Yeah.
speed and the convenience. So for certain people, they'd rather have the speed and just the assuredness that it's going to close and the convenience of the sale rather than just try to squeeze every last dollar of the house. And those are the people that we are looking to serve. So have a belief in yourself, have a belief in what you do, and like you said, be confident in yourself and get out there and just start, get going. Don't delay. Don't do it Monday. Don't do it tomorrow. Do it today.
Do
Develop
it
a
just
plan.
now.
You have to develop a plan. Take your time, do your research, develop a plan, but
Mm,
set a timeline for when that research is up and when you're going to put together that plan. And you have to stick with it with consistency. Nothing worthwhile works the first day and everything's wonderful and it's all rosy. Everything worthwhile that you're going to do, you have to do it on the days you don't feel like doing. You have to do it with consistency. And that is the magic, in my opinion, to the key to success in any business endeavor is just sticking with it over time.
can you share about your company and how you're able to set that up, how you're able to build integrity within the space? Because to be fair, the real estate industry is cutthroat,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
you have to bring your A game every single time. And because the landscape is always changing, the market can be dynamic. So how do you strategize and do your thing at Reno?
So as far as doing it with integrity or as far as doing it with what? I'm sorry.
With what you're doing, like the structure, how you manage your team, how has that been for you over the
Oh,
last?
managing the team. Yeah. So
Yeah,
you're only as good as the people that you surround yourself with. So it's key to
okay.
having the right contractors, right? Because there are contractors that could charge you $2,000 to do something, and then a different contract will charge you $20,000 to do the same exact jobs. That's why being in the industry, networking with real estate agents, networking with other investors is so important so that you can get with the right team to actually do the rehab itself. You can get with the right financing partner. You can get with the right person to raise money to do the deal with. You can get with the right real estate agent that can actually bring you deals and then do a good job of selling the house for you. So it's about
Mm,
building that network. And no matter what it is, the job is to talk to people every day. You have to get out there.
mm.
You have to be willing to talk to people. You can't sit there and hide in your mama's basement and like think you're going to make millions of dollars in this business. You've got to get out there and you've just got to get your face and be make yourself known.
Yeah, get your hands dirty, get your
Yeah,
face out there, and
yeah,
just get going.
that's it. Yeah.
That's great to hear. So, what would you say? Have you had like? I know you've had a couple of good times and bad times in business. So, what would you say are your top best investment and worst investment moments?
Boy, so my best investment moment, we actually made 150,000 US dollars on one house flip.
Wow,
And it was a
wow,
house that didn't even need a ton of work. It was a beautiful house in a beautiful neighborhood that had an amazing view of the city
wow.
below. We just had to do some paint, clean it up a little bit, put some flooring in there, a little updating of the kitchen. It really wasn't much, but we have a great relationship with a wholesaler that we actually bought that specific house with, and we were able to get that deal done. And that was
Uh,
the most amount of money I ever made just on one single house flip. It was not even a very expensive. I mean, it just depends on your perspective, but I think we bought the house for 400 and something thousand and wound up selling it
wow.
mid 600. So we made profit 150,000. And I remember actually when we sold it, we were in Europe. So we were like
Mm,
vacationing and traveling.
you're on vacation.
Man, life is good, so it doesn't get much better than that. As
Wow.
far as worst deal, I'd say it also happened when we were traveling, and I had a business partner that maybe didn't do everything the way they were supposed to and didn't fill out the
Mm,
contractor and get prices in writing for what it was going to cost to renovate the home. And I never actually saw this house that we purchased together. And that was the one flip in my whole career that we ever lost money on. It wasn't a ton of money, but you have to make sure that you know what your numbers are and you get it in writing
yeah,
so that there's no confusion. Well, he said it was this price, I said it was this price. You have to trust, but you have to confirm that trust with just get it in writing and know what you're buying. And if you're going to be buying houses without actually ever actually seeing them, make sure that the people that are looking at it for you are well founded and experienced in what they're doing.
I know you just said that you're able to close out these deals while on vacation. So it means it's possible for someone with a full-time job to get into house flipping.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So how would that work? How much time commitment would they realistically have to invest in making such deals?
So if you've got a full-time job, you absolutely
Yep.
can do this. Now that's going to lead you to certain methods of acquiring properties versus going to like so you if I were doing that, I would focus on market properties or working with wholesalers, people that already have the deals and
Okay.
that are bringing them to you. So maybe you won't
Uh,
make quite as much money as if you were to go and find them yourself, but then you're also not spending all the time meeting with sellers. You're not spending time and money and energy on marketing and going on appointments and answering phone calls when they come in.
yeah.
So I would focus on deals that are on the market and then networking with real estate agents that can bring you deals and wholesalers, people that have properties under contract that will make a little bit of a spread and sell it to you for a profit at still a price that you could still buy and sell the property for. I would get an expert on negotiating those. As far as how much time, if you were able to focus, when I say focus, I mean like turn your phone off,
Uh,
not on Facebook, not scrolling Instagram, but like 1 hour of focused energy per
time.
day, five,
Yeah.
6 days a week, looking for deals. If you were to do that consistently over time with a little bit of help on how to do that, that's all it really takes. And if you could do it a few flips a year, just depends on how many you want to do. If you want to do 2 or 3 a year, you could absolutely an hour a day working with me, working with on the business with laser focus. It can be
Yeah.
done.
Well, I feel like this is a masterclass because you just keep dishing out tons of
You're very kind.
amazing
Thank you.
advice. Do you train people to do what you do?
Yes,
Uh,
yes. So I've been
oh,
doing this for so long, and I just this
yeah.
kind of we're launching this business. We're helping people fix and flip homes and invest in real
Mm,
estate, and it has stemmed from just I so wish I would have had my version of myself 20 years ago, and I was starting like standing by myself. I've done
yeah.
well, God's bless us, but it could have been so much easier and faster.
Mm,
And there's so much information available on the internet. You don't necessarily have to hire a coach.
yeah.
However, hiring the right person that will give you honest feedback can just make it happen so much quicker, easier,
Mm,
without as much stress. And I assure you, you can do it with less fear. Just have that confidence to bounce ideas off of and bounce deals off. And hey, what should I do here? And I can save people tons of money in just like a few minutes. And only not because I'm smarter or better than everybody, just because I've been doing it for so
yeah.
long.
You've
That
been there, done that.
been there, done that. Been there, done that. So yes, we are helping people do this, and we're super excited.
So do you have like a particular coaching course or something, or you just do it as an informal way of training people?
Yeah, so we have a program that we're launching, and the best way that people can get a
Mm,
hold of me is on Instagram, right? So we put a ton of
nice.
information on there so you can check out. I don't hold anything back. We put our marketing methods, we put our stories, our trials, the funny stuff that happens, the crazy stories, everything. I promise you'll find it entertaining too. If anyone wanted to follow me, they could go to Instagram and my handle is
They need to follow you. They don't want to. With all this information you're dishing out, everyone needs to follow you. I'm
thank
gonna
you.
put the link of your
Yeah,
Instagram link in the
that.
description, so
Yeah, that
everyone
would
needs
be
to get on
great.
this train because
Yeah.
this is so much valuable information you're giving out just for free. You should be charging £1,000 for this.
You can pay me if you want. I can take a credit card. My wife would be
Yes.
happy with that. Yeah.
So what are the top three things you do consistently that has helped you contributed into your business growth and success?
Really, so it comes down to making offers consistently, talking to people
Hmm.
consistently, and then marketing consistently. And that could be online, it could be mailers, it could be talking to real estate agents, it could be talking to wholesalers. Like, so there's a litany of different ways. And that's one of the things that we specialize in working with people. It's like, hey, there's all this different information available for free on the internet, but it's kind of overwhelming. Like, what's going to work for me? And I've tried almost all of them. And it just kind of depends on what everyone's personal strengths and weaknesses are and what their goals are, what their budget is, all those sorts of things. So we kind of develop game plans of working with people that's specific to you. Because what's good for me is not necessarily what's good for Stephanie or good for our audience. Like, we all have
Sure.
different strengths and different things that we want to spend our time and the capabilities to do with our resources. So whatever it is, it's just, but it comes down to talking to people, making offers and analyzing deals. You've got to be doing that on a consistent basis. Not every deal that comes across your desk, you can't get impatient. The first deal that comes across your desk, 99.9% chance is not going to be worth buying. You have to be able to the point where you're analyzing deals and able to say no. You have to have the discipline to say no to
Hmm.
9 out of 10, and then just be patient for that 1 out of 10 or 1 out of 20, whatever the number of deals is. And then when that happens, you have to have the ability to jump on it quickly, because time lets all deals die. You have to be patient, but when that deal comes, it's time to jump and you got to be ready to go for it.
Nice. I feel like you've done like a communication masterclass because you're such a confident communicator. Everything you say just hits the mark and it's just boom, boom, boom. You're an amazing
I don't know.
communicator. I
It's
have
just
to give that to you.
I'm getting older and that's a lot of time doing the same thing. That's all that is.
So you've clearly built a house flipping system that works. So, but what is your why behind the business? Like, what's the motivation behind it apart from the money?
Yeah. So I'm a child of God. I believe in Jesus Christ. I believe that He put us
Same
on the earth.
here.
Amen. Amen.
Amen, brother.
So everything that we do is not just for us. We do it and
Uh,
we're able to give and we're able to help people out. We help our family, help our church, help causes that are important to us. And of course, too, I'll be honest, I love living a good lifestyle. We like going on trips. We like all that.
definitely.
And I believe that, God has put us in this position to do that so we can enjoy those things. So that's what's most important to me.
Yeah, God gave us the charge to take dominion of the earth. So
That's
be
right.
fruitful,
That's right.
multiply, and
That's
take
it.
dominion.
And I will
So
say
that's how we're doing.
the more that I've honored him with our wealth and our commitments and our time and our energy and just obeying him, like, the more that we've been blessed. It's just, I'm not saying that's happened to everybody. I'm saying that's what's happened to us personally. That the more that we give, like, the more he's given back to us. It's just been quite honestly amazing.
Yeah. I just want to share a brief story. During the lockdown, I just felt like the world was going to end. So there's no need to aspire to do anything. Just wait for Jesus to come and take us
Oh
off. That
goodness.
was that was my mindset, to
Oh
be
boy.
honest.
Yeah.
Then I read the parable of the 10 talents, and it
Mm,
just clicked on me that
mm,
God has given us this many talents. He has
that's
given
right.
us the skills and everything. The information is all around us. So it would be a slap on his face if we don't take advantage of everything we've been blessed with to honor him, because
Amen.
there's no way you can even preach about Jesus if you're back you're down on your rent, your credit card is maxed out, and you're
Yeah.
not able to help yourself. There's no way you
Yeah.
can preach about Jesus. So you have to come from a place of an abundance to
Yeah.
give to others. But that's finding your own self, finding what skill God has blessed you with and using it to bless the world.
That's
It
right.
says we are the light of the world. So We need to shine.
Get to shine. That's right.
And
Amen. So good.
you have chosen the real estate flipping business to
Yeah.
shine, and you're shining brightly.
Thank you very much. That's a great story, and thank you for that kind reminder.
So that was just what recalibrated my mind. Like, okay, yes, this world is not going to end anytime soon. Even if the world is going to end, let me make sure I max out all the potentials God has given to
That's
me,
right. We're here
so
for
that
a reason. We're here for a
yeah,
reason.
we're here for a reason. We can't just come and go as like mist. We need to make our mark on the earth.
Amen. Well said.
So if you had to lose it all and start over today in a new city, not Nevada, because it's
Yeah.
like you already had the cheat code for Nevada,
Right. Right.
with just $1,000 in your pocket, what would your first 30 days be like?
Gosh, would $1,000. I would go out and I would work like heck to find the best possible deal that I could. And even if I
Hmm.
don't have the money to necessarily do it myself, find someone to partner with or wholesale it off of somebody, build up some cash. But it all stems from being able to find that good deal. So just being able
Yeah,
to hang in there, be persistent, being told no 100 times before you get the yes, and
yeah.
just, you got to get to work.
Do you get to leverage like AI tools like ChatGPT in your search for properties, or you just do it with your connections and the network you've built so far?
Yeah, that's so funny you ask, 'cause we actually did a video on that. So we started using ChatGPT to analyze on-market properties. So you can tell it, "Hey,
Wow.
I wanna buy a flip in this area, and I want it to look like this. I want to be so tell me what the ARV is, meaning the after repair value, what's it gonna
Yeah.
cost to rehab it, and what can I buy it for? And find me 5 good properties." And I haven't actually purchased any houses yet, but I was amazed that I actually found some deals that were pretty darn close to meeting my.
Mm.
So it's amazing with the right prompts and what that system can do.
Yeah, I mean, ChatGPT is only as good as the prompt you put in it.
That's
So
right. That's right. Yeah, no, but it's this amazing resource, and I'll look forward
yeah.
to using it more. And we've got a lot of projects right now, but if things slow down, then we'll be back on there looking for deals because it can certainly analyze data a lot quicker than I can. So.
So what would you say is your like best marketing strategy? Would it be ads on Facebook, or would it be TikTok? Would it be Instagram? What's like your best marketing strategy
Yeah, as
to
far
find
as
it?
specific marketing goes, it would be the Google ads, right? So it's called Google pay
Mm,
per click. So you can pay to be at the top of the list when people put in certain words like cash home buyers or sell my house fast or litany of terms.
nice.
So if you have the money, it's expensive though. You have to have the money to put into it, and you
Yeah.
want to have the ability to respond to those people. You got to call them like right away, not 5 minutes later,
Mm,
not 10 minutes, not an hour. Like you have to literally, when it comes in, that's when you got to get them. So if you have the time and the money to do that, I would say that. If not, I would say the best way is to connect with these people called wholesalers, who they're the ones that are going out and spending the marketing. They're doing the cold calling. They're doing the
okay.
mailers. They're doing the online ads. They're doing whatever they're doing, but they don't have the desire or the time or the money to go and actually buy the house. So they'll purchase it at a discount, right? And they'll deal with the seller directly. This is a really simple way for people to get started. And then they'll do all the heavy lifting with the seller. You just have to come in and you purchase it. They'll mark it up. They'll put a little bit of a premium. They'll put 10 or 15,000 or whatever they'll put on it, but still get
Mm,
you at a price where you can make money on it.
yeah.
And then you go and do the rehab and go fix it up and go sell it. So that's how I would recommend a lot of newer people that maybe don't have a ton of time and to get started and experience dealing with negotiating with sellers or whatnot. That's a much simpler way to go about it.
Okay. Have you ever fixed up a house where the buyer says, "Oh, I want it all taken down. I want to change the whole setting."
Hey, that's me. It doesn't bother me a bit. Once it's their house, once we buy, they can bulldoze it for all I care. That's up to them. So I'm sure that people want to make changes. We do a
Mm-hmm.
lot of houses, and we try to keep up with the trends for 2025, right? So we don't
Yeah.
stick with the old methods. We try to constantly evolve. We have a designer that helps us do a lot of that. So I was doing the same grade floors for a while. She finally says, "Hey, Scott, you got to cut it out. That was good like 5 years ago. So we got to do something that's modern for now." So we
Yeah.
try to do our best to make it as appealing to most people as possible.
Okay. So where do you see the house flipping markets in the next 5 to 10 years? How do you see it evolving?
Yeah, I see it getting more competitive. I see a lot of people getting into the business. You've got to be able to be consistent with it and not get dis
Mm,
you got to stick with the plan because it's a popular way. And I think as real estate agents, there's a lot of challenges that real estate agents themselves are facing with the commission. Here in the United
yeah.
States Commission, lawsuits and the discount brokerages and all these things, AI and all these things going on. I think that more real estate agents may start getting into flipping homes and investing in real estate. And because quite honestly, there's so much available information available on the internet that
Mm,
anyone can do this. Literally, you don't have to be
yes.
special. You don't have to be anything. You just start doing it. So, I think it's a great business. Unfortunately, there's always going to be people in distress. They'll either inherit a home or they'll have a mental illness or a drug and alcohol problem or whatever it is that they need to, or a gambling issue, right? Because we live in Nevada, gambling is legal here. So we run into that, unfortunately. There's going to
Mm,
be a need for it. So I think it's a great business for anyone. If they want to get into it full time, great. Or if they want to keep their job and do it on the part time, I think that's a great way to get started. If you do a couple of flips a year, it could easily add six figures to your income, and it's up to you to decide how much longer you want to keep doing your regular job from there.
nice. So, last question. What's the biggest myth about real estate success you want to bust today once and for all?
Oh goodness. What is the biggest myth? That
Yeah.
the job is just to go out and look at homes all day. Like at the end of the day, it's still somewhat of a sales, it's a consulting thing, but it is sales. You
Mm,
have to be comfortable getting out there, putting yourself out there and talking to people every day if you're gonna be successful at that. So a lot of people, especially for real estate agents, they think that it's easy, but it's a very it's a difficult profession without the right guidance and with the right mentorship. It's like a 90% failure rate. So you have to, be smart about it, align yourself with the right person. Yes, you can do it on your own, but working with someone who's been there and done that can make the process so much easier and
yes,
quicker
yeah.
for you.
Amazing. So we've come to the end of the first session. We have another session what we call firecracker section.
Okay.
So it's just me throwing a bunch of questions at you and you
Okay.
hitting me right back at it.
Quick
So
answers. Okay. Got it.
what's the biggest rookie mistake you see new flippers make and how can they avoid it?
I think we talked about it before. It's just getting
Yeah.
caught in that analysis and just keep looking at deals and not ever actually reading, listening to YouTube videos and not ever taking any actions. You've got to put a deadline for yourself when you're going to stop just researching and when you're going to put your plan into place.
Yeah. Yeah. Action is the name of the game. If you don't take action, the
That's
time is going to pass by because a good deal today might not be a good deal tomorrow. So
that's right.
time is
Or it'll be gone.
of
If it's
the
a good deal, someone else is going to figure it out and they're going to take it from you.
exactly. So what's one underrated skill every real estate investor should master SAP?
Really just analyzing properties and knowing what they're worth and knowing what it costs to rehab homes. Because if you don't have that start of like, hey, what's this house going to be worth once it's done and what's it going to cost to
Mm,
get me there, you really don't have any idea what you can pay for the property.
that's true. And I would also say communication. You're such a strong communicator.
Yes.
Like I feel like you're gonna close every day. You're gonna sell me. You're gonna sell me.
Well, what's your credit card number?
No, I'm not giving that out.
Oh, okay. All right.
So if you could flip one more property anywhere, any type, where would that be and why?
Yeah. So if we were to flip only one more property, I would probably buy a house in a very nice area of Arizona, in Scottsdale,
Mm,
Arizona, where my wife and I could spend time there. We could live there and have it be really nice. And then when we weren't there, we could rent it out and generate income if we were traveling or doing something else.
nice. So what's like your dream home, like retirement home? Do you have an idea for where you'd retire to?
Yeah, so we
The
wanna be somewhere
sunsets.
warm, right? Because it snows here,
Yeah.
it's cold, we wanna be somewhere warm, wanna have close access to a good airport so we can travel. We
Yeah.
wanted to have a nice view, a city view, a golf course, mountains, something like that, and just have a nice modern place. A big thing is that my wife really wants to have a beautiful home with a view, so we're actually working on that right.
That's nice. So how do you unwind when you're not flipping houses and making big sales?
Yeah, so we play a lot of pickleball. So we played last night. We played quite a bit, and we it's good exercise. We've gotten a little bit better at it, so we enjoy that. We have our friends. I hang out with my wife a lot. We go out to eat, and we like to vacation and go on cruises and travel.
So are you traveling this summer? What's the summer plans looking like?
We have to make them. So our big anniversary's coming up. So we're thinking of maybe
Yeah.
going to Europe, but we haven't
Yeah, you
finalized.
come
So
to
it's
London.
we're kind of like last minute people. So so I don't know why we do this, but we wait to the last minute to book and then we figure it out. So London is definitely a possibility.
Raise I'm voicing for you here.
Thank
So
you.
I know you mentioned your Instagram. Aside that, is there a website we can reach you on or something else? Or it's just your Instagram for now?
Instagram and YouTube is the same handle. If anyone wants
Okay.
to look at my company website where we actually purchase homes from, it's sellfastnv.com. So
Perfect.
they can see me on there. But yeah, follow us on Instagram and YouTube. We're looking to build that channel out and connect with people and just help as many people as we can.
Well, I would say I thoroughly enjoyed interviewing you. You're such a strong I feel like I need to get a masterclass in communication from you. You're just selling and closing, an expert. You're a real estate flipping expert. So thank you so much for being on the pod today. It's been amazing hosting you on the show.
It's been a lot of fun. Thank you, Steffi, so much for having me.
Yeah, so guys, here you have it. Scott has basically downloaded everything he knows about. This is not even everything. This is just like a snippet of what he knows. So you need to learn from him. So go on to his socials, go to his website, go to his Instagram page and follow him and draw out all the information. And one thing Scott says, take action. There's no point analyzing and reanalyzing. Just take action. Once you do your first deal, you get more knowledge than sitting at the back of your computer and analyzing things. So from navigating risks to spotting the right deals and keeping your mindset sharp, Scott has given us the blueprints. So until next time, I remain your host, Steph. This has been Bricks and Banks podcast, where we turn knowledge into action and bricks into banks. Until then, see you later. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.